strangers. This is the Dangerously Strange Podcast, episode 3. We made it to episode 3.
Episode 3. Little couple of bumps, but this is episode 3. So now, by the time you're hearing this, the first episode will be out.
Yeah.
I guess by the time you're hearing it, the third episode will be out.
Yeah, this... Anyways, bringing it back, I'm your host, Ben DeShong, and with me, as always, is my co-host, my buddy, and my co-conspirator in several open investigations that we can't talk about, Mr. George Lefty O. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We're new at this, so we're happy to bring you on as we get going. If you're returning, thanks. Giving us another shot.
Yeah, we know we failed you the first 2 times, so thanks for sticking with it.
There's a couple of things we need to address before we go on. Obviously, you guys can see that we've had a venue change if this is not your first, or if this is your first time here. We got kicked out of the house. Turns out you can't yell obscenities and drink beer in a home full of children.
Right.
So we're out in the new podcast studio, we'll call it, and it's 10,000 degrees. So we're going to call this the shiny episode, or the glistening, the meltdown. We'll work on it. It's gonna be heat related.
We both have towels.
Yeah.
So
get used to that. There's a few things going on, and sure, it's probably gonna change color and stuff.
It's hot.
What's going on, George? What's new with you? I haven't talked to you in person in like a week or something.
Yeah, it's been right around a week.
Yeah. New projects or anything?
I am finally starting to execute on a website I've had in my head and owned the domain for years now, which is irep.me. I
thought you were going to say rottenbung.com. That was my favorite one.
Rottenbung.com? That's not mine, but I've had some close. I was the owner of
I bought in your name.
MoveXlax.com for several years.
That's fair.
I had it pointed at a GIF of a person like trying to do a backflip and then they pooped instead.
Word. All right, anyways, continue.
irep.me is something I thought of as a way to plug into your Instagram or Twitter outward-facing links on your profile, so that you could have more stuff than just it pointing to one website. You have a little profile on irep.me that'll link you out to other places.
Right. You can do something similar with Rotten Bone.
I could, but it turns out that right around the same time I had that idea, about 1 million other people had that idea. So now I can just like basically clone the features of something like Linktree or something like that and make it my own, but I have now a space to work inside of. And it's not like a winner-take-all kind of a vertical. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not really sure that's even a thing that much anymore.
I mean, there's still winner-take-all. I mean, I guess it's not really winner-take-all. But I mean, like, you're not going to make a cell phone company.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
because while it's not winner-take-all, the fact is there's only about 3 to 5 winners at any given time.
Well, yeah, you got those like burner plans and stuff that come out too, or not even burner plans. They have other cell phone companies trying to edge in now. And those commercials are always really funny.
And what happens when they come in? As soon as they get big enough to be a threat, T-Mobile buys them.
It's crazy because like their marketing is like super suspect. I was watching one the other day. I was at the gym and I saw one come on and it was like, I can't even remember what the name is, but just like, try our phone. You can use your phone. You can bring your plan. The price will be lower. We promise. All the stupid good stuff. And you're like, yeah.
But it was decided to start a cell phone company 8 years ago.
It was nothing
now.
But senior citizens just like walking through parks. And it was like,
okay.
I just feel like I'm not in this demo. I'm not
invited.
That's
the thing. That's how you can win. You can be a niche cell phone provider.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people have realized about the internet too, is if you want to find success more quickly, niche, be about some very particular little
like
thing. You know, like
someone's rotten bones.
Somebody's rotten. You know, some people with rotten bungs are typing that in the internet.
I don't feel like you have
just SEO out the rotten bung.
I don't think you have vision the way I do.
I guess not, bro. I guess not. You know,
it's so hot.
I was gonna buy fuckvan.com at one time. It was available. I had fuckvan.com in my, which it's just, you know, knockoff Bang Bros, right?
Right. The problem with like porn stuff is that if you're not just gonna do the whole jam, like you're not gonna make the videos and do the whole thing, like they'll just come up with any combination of gross words.
Yeah.
And they'll just do their own thing. They'll be like, oh, you have fuckman, we'll do bang bug.
Right. I didn't even buy fuckvan. But like a week later it went up, like somebody bought it.
Yeah. So I just realized alliteration is pretty good for porn names.
Yeah.
You have anything off top?
Mr. Peter's Pecker.
Okay. I'm actually writing a short story calling Mr. Peter's Pecker is not sexual at all.
Oh, weird. So, I guess that's the first alliteration that pops into my head is Peter Piper's, right? Yeah. Peter Piper. Yeah. So then I just went.
My story is about a school teacher that has a pet woodpecker.
Oh, Peter's Pecker. Is it Mr. Peter's Pecker?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because
he's a teacher.
Well, that's cool. Any other projects? I don't think.
irep.me. Check it out. It's going to be up soon, and you can link to all your cool shit on your Instagram or Twitter. And
we'll promote it on Dangerously Strange stuff, and Lefty O got his own gig going on there, so find it. Check it out.
How about you? What do you got? What do you got cooking? How's that book coming?
Well, that's cool.
Oh, we haven't told you he's writing a book.
I mean, I'm trying for the first time. I have no experience in it at all, but yeah, I did 2,000 words today. I'm pretty stoked about that. I mean, whatever.
That's a big jump, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's an impressive.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I kind of want it to be a thing when it comes out, but
you're working on it.
Trying my writing for the first time. I'm going to have you read that before you take off, by the way. And what else? This was a busy week in my personal life.
Right.
My boss was off in my regular job.
Okay.
So this entire week was about me trying to get out on time, and it was a little bit rough. What else? My daughter turned a new age.
Right.
Let's see. Parents came into town, or my mom and my sister came into town. Had to entertain them, had to play host, had to do all kinds of fun stuff, which is always rough when you have house guests and you're not off of your job.
Right.
Like, so you just have to like lay them out for the 8 hours that you're going to be missing from their life.
Yeah.
Which is, my mom's not difficult to entertain. Like, she's pretty good about that, but it's the kids really. Like, she displaced my daughter because she had to take over her room.
Right.
And she still hates us. There's several reasons she hates us this week. Made her work for the first time. She went to work with Becky. That was fun.
Cool. Kids hate work.
Yeah. I don't have anything cool. It's Rotten Bone.
Rotten Bone. I just found Rotten Bone.
No, but I just found out it was available because if you don't have it, it's probably out there.
Right.
First instinct is probably going to be something along the lines of Preparation H or something. I don't know.
It's like a stink. It's a de-stinking cream.
Well, maybe rectal maintenance.
Yeah, it's something if you got a rotten bung, you can just, when you get out of the shower, just wipe your bung full of our patent.
Well, we're not going to get into it. Check out the website. Promote it on Dangerously Strange social media across the board.
YouTube, there might be an advertisement video ad for it coming up.
Check the show notes.
Somebody's rotten bung.
Dude, it's not anymore. What other projects? I've been working on some ideas for videos for our channel.
Okay. You've obviously been working on this, which is something that, besides a little bit of video editing, I don't work on. But you got it, nailed. Like, you got topics laid out and everything.
Yeah, they're pretty much all the worst, though.
Okay, well, that's fine. Well,
I'm pulling off of knowledge that I'm, the last time I watched TV, like, I got Ted Bundy tapes written down here. Which,
right.
Have you seen that, by the way?
I have seen the Ted Bundy tapes, and it's just about as bad as you expect it to be.
I disagree, dude. I loved it. It was great.
No, I mean, like, him. Like, the experience of it. It's a good show, but it doesn't make you feel gross.
It makes me feel gross, but probably for different reasons that it might make you. It made me feel gross because I thought he was He's a pretty cool guy. I mean, up until the murder.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just like, you.
Was it murder and rape? It was murder and rape, right?
I'm pretty sure he was a raper, too, yeah.
Yeah. Not to be confused with an MC.
Oh, right. Not 2-piece.
Yeah.
He seemed like a pretty chill dude.
He's like super motivated.
Yeah.
And very charming.
And incredibly intelligent.
Right.
How about
cool in the face of adversity? We can make a motivational mix about it, like a Tony Robbins style, like I'll run through the woods for 4 days and not eat because I do what it takes to get my goals accomplished, or like, and you
could cut those tapes up to be a really good self-help book.
Yeah. If you played it against like a regular motivational tape, it might point out how ridiculous those things can really be. By the way, I watch them like every day.
Right.
Also.
On a related note, how about, did you watch that one about the guy, the pervert guy that like made
Tom
like,
Segura?
No, dude, this guy was like another just like kind of a chill dude and like made friends with these husband and wife and then was like in love with their 7-year-old daughter. And
no. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of the like Madeline McCann thing or whatever. That's a whole different. I just thought little girl, but there's too many murder things on Netflix.
He abducted this girl by saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take your little daughter out to ride horses," and they were like, "Oh, for sure." And
that's
then,
normal.
Like they didn't come back for 3 days, and then they started to worry.
3 days. Well, I didn't see that one. I guess I don't have any backstory, but my first instinct is like, were these also the parents that like let their kids hang out with Michael Jackson, or similarly?
But also, there's like all kinds of extenuating circumstances. Like this guy also was like tricking the mom into hooking up with him, and tricking the dad into like beating him off behind the 7-Eleven.
That's dark.
Yeah.
Behind the 7-Eleven?
In the car.
Nothing good happens at 7-Eleven. Not one thing.
But yeah, it was another one where you're just like, what the fuck? And this dude is like, that's when I knew that she was going to be my little China doll forever. Like some shit, bro. Like he was
Ted Bundy is definitely more likable.
Yeah, Ted Bundy was more likable than this guy, but this guy was like an even better because he just kept manipulating these parents into like.
What like time frame was this in? You remember?
70s maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, is like how crazy Wild West was it like only 30 years ago or 40 years ago or whatever. Like all you had to do to get away with anything was like just
say you didn't do it.
Yeah, like if you weren't there to see it live, like it was fine. You could just be like, nope, wasn't there.
I wasn't
That's not my handwriting.
Right?
Like whatever.
No
like,
such thing as DNA.
And then like our parents and grandparents have the goal to say that we should be more successful than we are. But like, listen, you could basically rob a bank. I'm pretty sure everyone robbed a bank once. Like it's fine. Like you just have to just have a gun and not have your car in the parking lot when you leave there, and you can pretty much get away with it. I feel like. Gross.
For sure. I feel like we missed out.
Well, I don't know if we missed out.
To get away with.
They didn't have Postmates, so I mean, it's a trade-off.
They didn't have Postmates. Like you have to pay for Postmates.
Yeah, I mean, some people.
You don't have to pay to rob a bank.
There's investment up front. I mean, you have to have a vehicle, you have to have a gun, maybe, a ski mask.
And you gotta hope that your partners aren't stupid. I feel like the number one problem with robbing a bank is your partner's doing something stupid.
It's poor leadership. You can have a stupid person on your team, but like you just have to have a stupid person job. Like stand at the corner and be a lookout. That's the stupid guy's job. Like look in one direction and you yell, and then if he's stupid, you just leave it. Like you don't even have to pay him out or whatever, or like give him a very small cut. Like, what did we get, guys? And be like, we got $40. Here's your cut or whatever.
My dad and his friends robbed some spots, and I think including a bank. Unsure. It might have just been some convenience stores.
That's like small It's like high school for robbers.
Right. And he was the getaway driver.
Okay.
Okay. And
I feel like that's the most noble of, like you're not in there.
I'm just driving.
I'm just driving, yeah.
But then one of the dudes, like after he got dropped off wherever, like after the getaway, something ensued where that guy got caught up by the police and killed one.
Killed a cop.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then ratted on everybody. And so my dad and everybody went to prison on...
I've never heard this story.
on manslaughter, on...
conspiracy to...
Yeah,
whatever.
It's like accessory to manslaughter.
They went to prison for
Right.
being involved.
Yeah, my dad was in prison for like 17 years.
What?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yep.
Wow. Little makes sense now a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't alive yet.
Right. Can't, unless you're Ted Bundy, you can't get girls pregnant in prison. But he did that. Not to take it away from your dad. I mean,
I don't think unless. I think there's certainly still conjugal visits.
yeah, but I mean,
I think it depends what security you're at.
well, in this particular, I remember this part very vividly because I was impressed. But he, he worked it. He paid somebody off and yada yada yada. And this girl that was like not even his boo, I think at the time, came in and got the business and then got pregnant. And he like began raising his child from, as much as you can raise your child from prison.
Right.
But like that was a thing.
I mean, what's they're making that movie? Manson knocked up his wife.
Yeah.
From prison.
That guy was on a whole different level. Like he wasn't like definitely you're a murderer. Like if I saw him on the street, like, oh, he's gonna kill
from
all
day
of us.
one. You look at all the pictures of him.
Yeah.
There's not one photograph of Charles Manson that he's not very clearly a serial killer.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, he was kind of handsome and supposedly charismatic, but he was...
Yeah, he had, like, the death stare, and, I don't know, like there was, like, blood in the crevices of his mouth. Like,
he had little horns coming out.
It was not a suspect thing. Like, he was who he was. He owned it. And he talked, like, well, shit.
Did you ever watch the Claymation movie about that?
No, I didn't.
It's a musical.
Okay.
Jack White is in it. It's from like mid 2000s. It's a musical claymation that's made to be kind of like seem like scripture.
Oh shit! Okay.
Of some of the helter skelter religion.
All right.
It's claymation.
You remember what it's called? Shout out to
Helter Skelter Claymation.
Searching mid-episode. Okay.
No, that's just Helter Skelter. Go. Anyway, that other guy too that I was talking about with the abducting the child escaped from prison like 2 times in the process, and the parents kept like dropping the charges, and the daughter was like fully brainwashed to
the 7-year-old.
Yeah, well, by the time this was all done, she was like 15. Okay. Like it was an ongoing thing where she was in love with him after he abducted her or took her to Mexico and like played weird alien tapes that mind washed her into thinking that she had to have a baby by him or the world was gonna end. Like all kinds of shit, bro.
Well, I mean that might sound crazy to you. I mean, the situation's crazy, but like, I have kids. It's pretty easy to just tell them like a thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, word." Like, "Oh, if we don't turn off the TV right now, like the cops are probably gonna come and take it." And they're just like, "Oh, word." Like, I guess we better go. They're not that bad, but like I've pulled those parenting moves. It's lazy parenting at times, but
yeah,
gotta sleep. But yeah, that's intense. Like to think about the parents mostly being so accommodating to this series of like very heinous crimes?
Well, it was because the wife had been cheating on the husband with him.
Uh-huh.
And the husband had done some weird sex shit with him too. So and neither of them, they were like halfway being blackmailed into letting him. Bro, like he came over and slept in the basement with the daughter in the bed with him. He told them that his therapist said that that's what he needed to do to get over his infatuation with her. And they were like, oh, well, yeah, I guess.
Therapy never makes sense, so yeah, we'll trust you.
You've been such a good friend to us.
That's fine.
Like, after he had already abducted her to Mexico one time for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean,
that was the first time.
She came back and she was like, listen, guys, like,
I'm in love with him.
I learned some stuff about aliens. You just trust us because it's above your pay grade. But, yeah, it's probably enough of that.
Live Freaky, Die Freaky is a stop-motion animated musical independent film. Billy Joel Armstrong, Tim Armstrong, Rob Aston.
Shout out.
Nick13.
I've never heard of any of these people.
I guess it's not Jack White. I was thinking Jack White, but it's actually Billy Joe Armstrong. You know who Billy Joe Armstrong is? Green Day. He's the Green Day.
Oh, he's the eyeliner
Billy
guy.
Joe.
They probably all have eyeliner, but he's the heavy eyeliner guy.
I don't know what any of the rest of them look like.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. Not to me.
So, Ted Bundy tapes. Good subject.
Yeah.
That gave us a good 10, 15 minutes.
Stoked. This month, I'm going to Clusterfest in San Francisco.
I heard about that.
Super dope. From what I understand, it's like a multiple stage, kind of like a Woodstock-ish. Not, that's probably a little much, but like, like a...
It might be a trip. Because I went to something like that. I went to Sketchfest back in January. And, like, it's a festival. And there's multiple stages and venues. But, like... We just went to the auditorium where it was at 7.
And there was just like a stage.
Like, there was people in line to go to the show we were going to. The end. Right? Like, there was all these shows going on and it's Sketchfest, but like all weekend. There's all these shows going on.
I hope that's not the case, and I trust that that's not the case because I heard about it from somebody who went to one last year, and then I've also heard mention of it from some comedians on a few podcasts. I'm stoked about it, dude, because it's a twofer, because it's Becky's birthday present. Right. She already knows about it. And I also love stand-up comedy.
Right. So my question to you is, do you have tickets to Clusterfest?
Yeah.
Or you don't have tickets to, like, Joe Rogan at Clusterfest, right?
I have tickets to Saturday. It's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
I have tickets to the Saturday.
Okay,
and it's an
cool.
open.
So yeah, there's going to be like 15 or 20 different shows that day.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's, it's just wide and easy to get around and you can do stuff, but we'll see how it goes. I'm super excited about it though.
Yeah.
Because
I remember when you told me about it the first time, you listed like 10 different comedians that I had never heard of that are going to be there. So that's...
Yeah, pretty excited. I can't think of any of them right now.
I'm excited for you because you knew all those names.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Do you have a favorite stand-up comedian?
George Carlin.
3? Oh, come on.
Richard Pryor.
Not that I'm saying that they're bad, but I feel like you're phoning it in right now. Do you...
I mean, really, real talk, like, that's what I was raised. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I was a kid, like, that's what... I got introduced to stand-up comedy, Richard Pryor.
Okay, that's fine then. I thought you were just like...
No, I know. Like, those are some, like, best of stand-up comedians of all time. Like, I might as well put Bill Cosby on the list. But...
Well, I mean...
For obvious reasons, Bill Cosby is not one of my favorites.
Well, you can separate the art from the rapist.
But... You can, but it's 2019, and it's just better not to promote somebody who's a rapist.
We can promote Hannibal Buress.
I love Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress was the first one to talk about it. That was interesting.
I like, what's that? Richard Cheese? Is that his name?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know if that's his name or if I'm calling him Richard Cheese because of that song. But there's that one song that this guy did that was like, whoa, whoa, wood, cheese and children.
Oh.
Make your life so sweet.
Yeah, I remember the song. I'm trying to put a face to it.
I think his name was Richard Cheese, but I think Richard Cheese is the lounge freak guy.
Yeah.
Right? Is the guy who sings
I think
lounge versions of popular rock songs.
Okay.
I think that's Richard Cheese. Might be the same guy, because that was kind of a loungy voice I was doing.
I don't know the name Richard Cheese, but I recognize that song. I can't think of it. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but
God made wood. No, I'm not going to do this whole thing. This is not that show. But I like that guy. He's pretty funny. I like a lot of stand-up comedy.
Do you like musical? Is that like, are you inclined to like the musical comics?
I actually despise musical comics. Like, if somebody comes on stage with an acoustic guitar to do a stand-up set, I'm already like
not about
-2 on where I thought this was going to go, kind of a thing.
I've kind of got a similar sentiment. I will say I fucking dig Bo Burnham. Not that he's a musical comedian. He's more of like I don't know. He just puts on a show. Like, it's a huge performance.
Yeah, he's the one that wrote that book.
Probably. I don't know. He's good. He's not in my top 3 or whatever, but as far as musical comedians go, I like him.
Yeah, he's a good performer.
Yeah,
I know that.
Very, very...
I don't like to look at him. No offense, Bo. I don't... He's better looking than that guy from Star Trek.
Which one?
The guy from Sherlock?
What?
The guy from Avengers?
Okay, which one?
He's the wizard in Avengers.
I'm done
That
with this.
British guy!
I'm all done with this.
Cumberbatch!
Anyways.
He looks like a snake. It's gross. I don't want to look at his face. Stop putting him in movies and TV.
No. He should be a new...
All of our industry
family.
listeners. I know there's a lot of people in the stranger community that are involved in filmmaking and production. So, stop casting Cumberbatch.
All right, so George Carlin,
Richard Pryor.
Let's give me a top 5. No particular order.
Top 5?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna start saying like Dane Cook and shit. And that's like,
we
know George Carlin, Richard Pryor, and then it's like names I can list. You know what I mean? Like Hannibal Buress. Who did I literally just say? Dane Cook. Early Dane Cook. Dane Cook, when he was like in a black tank top, spitting water, pretended to be the alien, right?
Yeah. That's cool. I remember that Comedy Central special.
That's where my style came from at that time. Wearing black tank tops every day.
There was a lot of people that were about the Dane Cook.
Bro, I paid for pay-per-views of Dane Cook.
He's still, or I won't say, again, he's doing comedy, and he's like, you know, he's older now, and like, it's different. I've seen a little bit of it. It's good, though. He's still as funny as ever. He's just different. He's such an asshole. It's not that much of an asshole anyway. He's been humbled by life a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. He was one of my people I was looking up to at a really formative time for me and my comedy thought processes and stuff. And looking back, I kind of wish he wasn't. Nah, dude, Dane Cook. A lot of comedians wanted to be him. The thing about it is I think when somebody gets like super big, super fast like that, like you lose track of like what they're actually doing and saying because they got this image. Right. You know, like you could say the same about Kevin Hart right now or whatever. Like Kevin Hart's funny. Kevin Hart is still like super hilarious and one of the biggest, best comedians there is. Mm-hmm. But you see Kevin Hart as like a brand now more than you see him as like a comedian because he's selling out arenas and in movies and he's driven. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, without looking at, you know, the person in the comedy, like, it's easy to just get caught up and be like, oh, I'd see Kevin Hart even if he just went up there and fucking said bullshit for an hour. Like, you'd be like, I got to see Kevin Hart. Yeah. But, you know, I think it would be dope if Kevin Hart would do another special, but do it, like, in a club, like, with a small audience. I'd like to see that. Oh, you mean like Dane Cook's pay-per-view? Small circle? Sure. Yep. I don't think it was called that. Okay, so that's 3 then. 4. You said Hannibal. Were you serious about Hannibal? I like Hannibal. I mean, I like Hannibal. I don't know if I'd throw him on my top. Funny people. I feel like you're missing like very prominent names. I know. Like, who do I like? You know? Maybe you just haven't watched what I've watched. It's the same as music, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff that I really like that I don't even know the name of the band. For sure. I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who I've seen some shit of theirs that I really enjoy.
So, so George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Dane Cook. Well, this is not the order, but whatever.
Not on a ladder, but
put my hand away.
Dane Cook. See, especially not in this order. Dane Cook, Richard Pryor, George Carlin,
Hannibal.
Hannibal's fine. I mean, he's not.
I think Hannibal's fucking hilarious.
I don't have a love for him like that. Like that's what I was. I guess I was kind of going for more like, who are my like corners? You know.
I think Hannibal's fucking hilarious. I didn't like the last special though.
Hannibal's great. I went and saw Hannibal live before his live show was just him making weird sounds for 2.5 hours on stage.
Weird? I didn't know that was a thing.
No, that was actually a bit he did near the end of the set that I saw. Was like, you guys are all really lucky because you're here. You got to see me before I was just only making weird sounds for 2 hours on stage.
One more name, man.
Whoa, that guy that recently died from Curb Your Enthusiasm. The big Jewish curly hair.
If you can't know his name, he's not on your list.
Fuck, bro, the dude with the lotion bit, or with the where he's like prank calling his grandma, talking about he's.
All right.
Yeah.
Hannibal Buress twice then.
Yeah, Hannibal Buress twice. Does that give me 5? No, still only a 4.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's 5. That's 5. Hannibal Buress twice. That's fine. Dave Chappelle.
Thank you. I was like, you got no Chappelle on here. Bill Burr. Mine's easy. I don't.
Bill Burr.
My list is hard to compress to 5. You have a hard time.
Hedberg is right after George Carlin and Richard Pryor.
That's
Mitch
fair.
Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg made the one-liner cool. Like,
trying to give me a receipt for a donut? Let's not bring paper into this.
Yeah, for sure. I like the baked potato. That was one of my favorites. Yeah, mine is it's gotta be Bill Burr, not George Carlin. I feel like the comedians I like looked up to the comedians you like. But I like Bill Burr.
Sounds right.
Louis C.K., don't care. Dave Chappelle for sure.
Wright. What's his name? Wright. W. Wright. It's like a old, black-haired, big nose. He does a lot of one-liners too, like Mitch Hedberg, but he's like super dark.
Right?
Right. W-R-I-G-H-T.
I don't know.
That one.
That one. Threw my rhythm off, though.
I'm
What did
sorry.
I say so far?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle. Shoot, man. I like a lot of comedians. Recently, this one is Stephen Wright. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that guy was different.
Yeah, really dry one-liners, but just perfect.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Yeah.
The last 2 spots. Ugh. I like, man. There's a lot of comedians that I listen to regularly that I don't want to give a top spot, but they'll probably be on my list when they put out 2 or 3 more specials.
Like Jonah Ray Rodriguez?
No. I don't even know who that is. Who did I enjoy? I went to the Comedy Store last year. I saw a bunch of comedians that made an impact on my list. Shoot, you're right. This is hard now that I'm on the spot.
It's hard to be on the spot about it, but I've got I do have my 5 now. I think George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Stephen Wright, Mitch Hedberg, and Dane Cook. Dane Cook's my weird modern one. That's like,
it's fine.
Yeah.
I really like.
That's a lot of my foundation, I think, for.
Yeah, this is
what
rough.
I think is funny in stand-up. And a lot of early Bill Cosby, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just old enough that I still think a lot of sexist stuff is super funny.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll stop at 3 then.
You're not dropping any of your extra sexist people?
No,
guys,
it's not that I'm
can you
afraid.
see this?
I just don't want to drop
Oh my god!
Did it just fall off of your body?
That is sweat that just poured out of my shoe when I tried to show the world my sweaty leg.
Yeah.
My legs are like faucets.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you got like a puddle forming.
Bro, for real.
Oh no. This is on the internet. Look at George's. Oh, that's the worst thing. Please stop. For those of you just listening on audio, Joe just turned his sandal upside down and poured out roughly a shot glass worth of sweat onto the ground.
Right around a shot glass worth of sweat.
Yeah, it was a dose of Robitussin that's now on the ground. Just came out here.
Yeah,
it's not good. I think that's a good cue to take a break so we can maybe have some water and regroup. Getting dizzy. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. All right, that's enough.
That didn't stop it.
That didn't stop it. And we're back to the sweatisode, episode 3.
Welcome back.
So we were out cooling down and I came to my conclusion to round out my list, my top 5. So it was Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., Bill Burr. I'm going to go with Russell Peters. And I'm thinking Patrice O'Neal. Rest in peace. I just recently got caught up on Patrice O'Neal. Like Bill Burr talks about him all the time because they do like a benefit show every year for his family to like take care of them since he died. So I went and just checked out all this stuff, and yeah, the hype lives up. The guy's dope. Hell of funny.
Right on.
So I'm cool with that as my top 5. But moving forward, I'm very excited about Clusterfest. It's gonna be dope.
Clusterfest. Check it out. There's still tickets available.
Yeah, like not too bad.
Maybe not by the time this actually episode.
I mean, if you think, you know, you go to an average comedy show at like say like Cobb's or something, Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco, it's like $30 or $40 for a ticket for one person, and this was like 100 and something per ticket, and you get to see multiple acts. I think that's fair. I think it's worth it. So
That's
yeah,
fine.
I would check it out if I were you guys. Something I wanted to talk about because we were talking about it off camera maybe last week or something. You talked about your prepping. I want to get into that a little bit. Your end of the world bug out plans.
like what's going to happen
Yeah.
when everything's over.
I haven't really given a lot of thought to it, so that's why I think it's going to be fun to talk about.
Is that why there's only one bullet?
Yeah, it says riffing.
Yeah. Well, always have at least 1 gallon of water per member of your household saved in the closet. And be aware that 1 gallon is not enough.
Also, beer is like 90% water, so whatever.
Yeah, but you can't shower with it.
You can't shower with it.
I mean, I'm sticky enough without beer all over me.
Yeah, well, we can comment on that. I said, I've already forgot the
so
name.
you've got no emergency preparedness going on.
Dude, we've talked about this. Becky and I have talked about this several times and really never have gotten to a conclusion. Because as soon as you start thinking about who you'd need to get with, it gets really murky really
Like
fast.
who you're trying to save?
Yeah.
Okay. So, true, and that's important. But you need to start with who lives here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's where your disaster preparedness really is important. I mean, yes, once you're safe, you and your immediate who's in this house is safe, then you can start thinking about other people.
But here's where my head goes is like, okay, yes, you got to get your house safe. And who knows what that timeline looks like depending on the disaster we're talking about here, right? So if you got to blow town because whatever, there's a bombing or something, and communication is an issue where you can no longer reach out to people after the fact. You need to think of what route can I take where I have the best chance of at least maybe coming across my loved ones.
Well, and then where are we on the way to? Because you're jumping the gun on that, but I'm going to run with it, okay?
That's just where my head went.
Step 1 is for your network of the people who you want to save.
Right.
You need to tell them all where the spot is when something goes down.
Okay.
They need to know where the spot is.
But
and
the
you need
spot-
to establish a spot that is outside of a congested travel zone,
Okay.
right? Ideally,
Okay.
or in a central enough that you can all get there no matter how insane of what's going on around. You can all get there within an hour. Right?
See, that's already an issue.
So,
Yeah.
If
But
they all live in town,
right.
obviously, if you got people that live out of town, they're not going to make it here in an hour no matter what.
Yeah, and that's my issue because now you're making decisions like, okay, who are we just cutting? You know?
I mean, there's your first rally point is my thing. You know, like we had it set when I was young. You know, I had a group of friends who we knew that if you got a call that said go to the spot, you go to that park behind Esmar.
Okay.
Right? And we would sometimes test ourselves with that. And somebody would go, you know, you call one person and say go to the spot, and everybody's supposed to be checking in with each other on that from, you know, you domino out so that everybody ends up at the spot.
Right.
Right?
Do you have a gallon of water with you right now in your car?
No, not in my car. I don't keep a lot of prep in my car. I usually do have at least a gallon of water in my trunk and a tent. But yeah, no, I've been bad about having like a small bag packed in my trunk. I used to be hot for that shit.
I've spent hours on Amazon looking at prep kits, you know, because they sell prep kits with first aid and water purification packets and all this nonsense, and it just seems like it seems scammy. You're right.
Yeah.
I get your look. It's like
how to put together one of those kits. Don't spend $100 on one of those kits.
Right.
Buy a backpack and go to the dollar store.
For sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
And fill that backpack, right? Fill a small part of that backpack up with Band-Aids, ointment, aspirin, you know, like super basic, what you think would be in a basic first aid kit, plus throw some tweezers,
all right,
some thread, you know what I mean? And so you do that all at the dollar store for that the medical part, you can fully do at the dollar store.
All right, so let's hit a scenario. I want to hear yours.
Okay.
Okay, we're doing the podcast right now.
Right now, some shit goes down.
Power shuts down. We get a notice on our phone, maybe like an Amber Alert type of thing, where it says, we have been bombed on U.S. soil. But your area code's being evacuated. And you just have to assume that everybody's gotten it. Or, like, you can clean that up if you want, but, like...
Sure. Both of our phones went, wow, wow, wow. Martial law. Get out of your house.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's war on our soil.
Shit's going down.
You don't know who of your neighbors is a foreign agent.
Okay.
Okay, I went a little extreme there. But, okay, so what do we do? What do I do today?
Right now. It happened right now. You don't have your water. You have a coupe. One-wheel drive, probably. Maybe two.
I put 2 new tires on my car this week.
All right.
I got 2-wheel drive.
Perfect.
Right now, if it was right now and the shit went down, I mean, lucky you're here. Nate's just a few blocks away.
Okay. So what do we have? We have here 3 vehicles. We have yours, mine, and my other one.
Do we have to go? What was the scenario? War on our soil. We're evacuating town.
Yeah. No more details. We'll just say
because they like bombed the port.
Right, and the power's down.
Right. Because this is the farthest inland seaport. Yeah. So if they were going to bomb a port, this would actually be a really good port for them to bomb.
Let's assume we don't have any water outside of maybe what's in the water heater.
Well, I can assume that you've got water from the tower.
Okay.
And so the first thing that you and I would do if it went national emergency, power's out, I would go inside, plug every one of your sinks, and turn on the faucets.
Okay.
And bathtub, and turn on the faucets.
Okay. So are you? Is that under the pretense that we're staying here?
Whether we're staying here or not, better safe than sorry.
Okay. For
Now
sure.
we have 100 and something gallons of water.
Okay.
Because we filled up your 10
notes.
gallons worth of worth of sinks,
Mm-hmm.
plus your 40-gallon
the toilets are full too.
tub, plus the back of the toilets already have water in them.
Mm-hmm.
Once the water stops running, you got to use bathtub water to flush the toilet.
Yeah.
Prepper tip. If your water stops running and you got to take a dump, you can pour, I think it's a little less than a gallon. I think it's if you put a half a gallon of water into the toilet bowl, your toilet will flush.
Why aren't you shitting outside if that's the case?
I mean, if you're that hot yeah, obviously. But just in general, like if something's wrong with your toilet, you can flush your toilet with a half gallon of water. Just put it on top of your poop and it goes, flushes.
Okay.
I mean, the idea is to stay comfortable.
You're grasping.
No, I'm saying the idea is to stay comfortable. So ideally, you're not shitting outside.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let's also note that it's like 10,000 degrees right now. So.
It is 10,000 degrees. All the more reason not to waste water shitting, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely step one in almost any disaster, like real disaster, is like get your water right. Like if you don't already have water stored in your garage for such an event, like the first thing is go plug all your sinks and just start filling water. And your water, if the power's out, if the town power is out, your water will be gone soon.
Okay.
There's backup generators and shit, but if it's a real emergency, your water's gonna be gone soon.
So I want to take it back a step and let's say we have to flee. Come up with a scenario we have to flee that fits that bill. What are we doing there? We don't have time for the water thing.
Okay, and you have
we have
2 kids and a baby.
We have 2 kids and a baby, and we have an SUV, and we'll probably
all 6 of us will fit it.
Yeah, not all the seatbelts, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's seats 5. It's maybe a crossover, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I guess it's 2 in front, 3 in back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also have another car, but we'd have to stay together. You know what I mean?
Yes, but just like we were saying, if we're fleeing, I'm calling my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling Nate and his family.
Right. Who also has a baby.
Who also have a baby,
mm-hmm.
right around the same age as your baby. You
see how this is getting murky real quick?
Yeah, well, because you start processing, like, who do I need to call? And really, like, there's some other people who I could call, but from where we're sitting right here, I can't call them. Like, there's no value in me calling somebody who, on a normal day, it takes me 35 minutes to get from here to their house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call them and say, if you didn't hear there's an emergency, start taking care of your shit.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all I can do. Like, I can't help you. You're too far away from me. I hope, you know what I mean? Like, I hope.
Come to S-Mart.
Yeah, like, come to the S-Mart. But I wouldn't recommend it because you're already almost on the edge of town. Just go.
Yeah.
Get you and your family, grab all the canned food out of your cupboard, and get in your car and go.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair.
Like, go.
Fair. Yeah.
Hopefully, if this is the last communication we have, I'm going to be kind of headed the direction you're headed. Hopefully, we meet up.
Yeah. Okay.
Because otherwise you can't.
So where are you headed?
Where am I headed? Up to the foothills.
Foothills, okay.
Yeah. What was the emergency? Bombing.
War on our soil.
War on our soil. Foothills.
Yeah.
It's defensible.
Okay.
And I know
What are you doing if the freeways are locked up?
The freeways?
Well, I mean, if everybody's getting this message at the same time, you got to assume that the streets are going to be congested. The freeways are going to be congested. You heading to the foothills on 5?
No, well, right out the gate, that's part of why I choose the foothills, is you don't take any of the main highways to get to the foothills. Okay. You know what I mean? You head east out of town on any road that goes east out of town, and you're in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's going to be some other people fleeing to the country, but a lot of people are going to stop pretty much outside of town, like wherever outside the evacuation zone, right? I'm trying to go Secluded somewhere.
All right.
I feel like a lot of people aren't going.
Let me fuck you up some more. Shoot, we pull out. We go right to the main street here.
Mm-hmm.
Can't move. Cars everywhere. We go the other way. We can't move. Vehicle, basically irrelevant. Not an option. What's the move then?
All the better. We're hiking.
Oh, right. Footed. Okay.
I mean, hike to the edge of town.
So now we're without water and we're footing it.
Are we without water? All the adults can carry 2 gallons of water plus whatever they have in their backpack. I know you got enough backpacks here for us to have backpacks full of stuff.
Yeah.
I got my backpack right there.
I've got one backpack. Each child has a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
And
got luggage.
You,
Yeah.
me, and Becky can each carry a gallon. If you have a gallon of water for each of us to carry 2,
Right.
we can all carry 2 gallons of water.
Okay.
And yeah, hoof it to the edge of town. Luckily, we're close to the north edge of town, right?
Okay.
As soon as you're on the edge of town, steal a car.
You got some hot wiring experience? You ready to roll in that aspect?
I know how to hammer a screwdriver into the ignition of a Honda and turn it. Because that's all it takes if you've got a Honda from the 90s.
Public service announcement.
Literally. We're going to talk.
Okay.
And there's plenty of those on the street still.
Yeah. The town we live in already is one of the top auto theft towns, and now we probably just contributed to that. If we've got local fans, what's up? Anyways.
Now you know how to steal a Honda. But yeah, I'd say we'd get as far as we can get in your car. Just leave it on the street if it's so congested. Start walking up the sidewalk. North, north, north.
Okay.
Get to,
You don't think trying to get some gas in a something is necessary?
like bringing gas with us.
Yeah.
If you've got one, like if you got a gas can for your lawnmower, we can take it.
Okay. But you wouldn't waste a
I would
stop
waste
on
the
it.
effort stopping because we're going to steal a car anyway. So if that car runs out of gas, we'll steal another car,
Okay.
right?
What's your timeline before you start making moves like this? Immediately? How much time goes by before you're like, oh, I need to be stealing cars?
Well, in your scenario, we went out of the house and couldn't drive.
Right.
Because there was so much congestion already.
Okay.
So
Yeah, right.
that's right out the gate. I'm saying, like, I'm out the car and we're quickly as possible, we are moving toward out of congestion. And as soon as we get out of congestion, like
Then
moderately out of congestion,
then
we're stealing a car.
Okay.
Yeah. And going. I'd go to the foothills. Personally, I'd go to the foothills.
Okay.
I feel like you're safe and moderately defensible against.
You wouldn't, I'm sure you've got a ton of reasons why this wouldn't work, but you would never try to hold up in something like
Here in town?
I don't know, Costco or something.
See, now are you going zombies? Because in a war situation, no, I'm not hiding in Costco. I'm getting the fuck away from people. Because if they're here attacking us, they're trying to attack.
Right. Okay.
Right? So if you go somewhere where the nearest house to you is a mile or half a mile away, it's a lot harder for somebody, like if they're sweeping through,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like I'm going like real, like if they're trying to cleanse the infidels,
Right.
you know what I mean? We're going to hear them shooting our neighbors and be out in front with our shit,
For sure. Okay.
waiting for them to come up our block.
Real in a hurry. Yeah, I got you.
You know? Like, yeah, I'm...
All right. What else? What else have you planned for? What give me another. Let's do. I don't want to do zombies. Zombies is.
Well, here's my thing. Okay, I started a disaster preparedness group in the early 2000s that was called Z-Corps.
Okay.
And the motto of Z-Corps was, if you're ready for zombies, you're ready for anything.
Okay. Fair.
So it was an informational disaster preparedness community that focused on zombie apocalypse style of preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's really true. Like, if you're ready, like if you feel confident that when the zombies come, you're going to be good, Earthquake ain't gonna fuck with you. Hurricane, you know what I mean? Like, the only way any of this stuff is gonna mess with you is if it kills you when it hits.
Okay.
If you're really actually ready for a zombie apocalypse.
For sure. All right. See, the problem with the zombie apocalypse scenarios is I feel like the only way to survive that situation truly is solo. I feel like, which is
that depends on when you find out and how far away you can get.
Yeah.
Just like the war on our soil thing. Like, yeah, if you're finding out that it's a zombie apocalypse because there's zombies scratching at your garage door behind us.
Yeah, that's a tough alarm clock.
Right. But if we find out that it's a zombie apocalypse because we heard on the news that a bunch of people in Sacramento near the airport got this weird fever and then started attacking passersby.
We got a minute.
I got that on lock. We're gone. We're so gone. We're out of here. Like, it might be 3 or 4 days before there's some zombies coming through town. I ain't waiting to find out.
Yeah, we'll check in from.
Yeah, I'll be on my cell phone.
Right, you still have signal.
We got a cell phone and shit. Like, I'm so gone.
Yeah,
I don't need preparedness for that. Like, you tell me that there's something like zombies happening near an airport, because that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, because that's how it spreads, right?
It's going to be near an airport. It's going to be near a hospital, right? In my mind, if there's an outbreak in Stockton, it'll be on Pershing in California.
Oh,
that's where the
Stockton. Let's bring it home to a little bit more realistic of a scenario.
Okay.
Hostile gang takeover. Boom. Don't even give me that look. We were just talking.
What is this, Mexico?
No, man. We were just talking about this off camera about how all this violence is picking up all over the place. What happens if, a certain number? What are you doing to me right now? What happens if a certain number of, armed, calculated gentlemen start running through neighborhoods unannounced, capping fools in the head, and they shut down law enforcement because law enforcement is outmatched. We have to wait for, the military to come in 24 hours from now or whatever. What's the move?
Well, that's a lockdown scenario. Right?
That's a lockdown. That's in the house.
That's staying inside. Yeah, that's start boarding up the windows.
Okay.
Right?
How'd you determine that?
It's so temporary. That's the one that's why you move water.
Okay.
In your house, right? Because they might shut down the grid too. Like, if they're doing that, if they got enough, gusto that the police aren't going to help us.
Your eyes right now, by the way, they look like Ted Bundy's eyes. Just, he really likes this.
If the police aren't going to help us, they might shut down the grid.
Okay.
The bad guys. Most likely they won't, because they want power too. Electrical, not just political. So I'm not even really worried about the water at that point. It's just like, how defensible is your house?
Right. Not much. I mean, not a lot we can do here. You can board up the windows, I guess, but our door is still 1.5 inches thick. And I don't have a ton of materials around here. I don't know if you're looking around.
I mean, well, cardboard.
Start a fire.
You got that motorcycle.
Not mine.
That's here. Does it run?
Sure.
Well, then we can escape. Just you and I.
Okay. Bye, family and infant child. Right. Remember me.
Right.
Maybe I'll brand my name on her pinky finger or something.
On her pinky?
Why not? Who uses their pinky? Just a little dad. Just a little.
But yeah, I mean, I think any disaster can be, there's varying degrees of how long it's going to be, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it seems to me, I mean, that's not a disaster. I mean, it is a disaster. But it seems to me that if you can stay where you are and wait it out, you should. If it seems like this is going to be taken care of tomorrow, just like,
Okay.
turn the lights off.
Zombie gang.
Zombies with guns.
Yeah. 28 days later, zombies with automatic weapons. Bombs.
I mean, that's just like put your head between your legs.
Yeah.
At that point.
I'm just trying to find out where your line is, I guess.
I mean, there's nothing.
You have more answers than I thought you would.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, anything that seems like shit's going down, get the fuck out of here. Like, go. For sure. Like, as soon as possible, get out of town.
There's a lot worse towns to be in than this one in that scenario. I mean, it's a congested town, but we're not in San Francisco.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's where I'm saying, like, you're saying congestion. If we're hearing the news at the same time as everybody else, it's not going to be too congested to get out of town.
well, we're probably not going to hear about it in real time because we don't watch the news. And I don't watch the news.
Yeah, but if it's something like that, there's not somebody that's going to call you.
They all live here with me. I mean, I guess if my dad and...
If I wasn't here, I'd call you.
Okay. What number am I on the list?
You're up there.
All right. Like, top 3?
I mean, if I'm at my house... Even if I'm not at my house, yeah, top 3. I mean, yeah.
All right, great. That's great news.
I'm saying...
I got a guy.
Yeah, you're like, it's you and Nate and my mom.
Yeah, I'd be like, George, go to the S-Mart.
Right.
And fucking... Wyoming.
And then like Max out of town,
Yeah.
I've got other friends in town who they've got their whole family to deal with or whatever.
Meet me in the liquor aisle. I'm already here. I've been here for a minute. I heard what was going on. I can't walk. Please save me. Leave my family.
Don't worry about my family.
They'll be fine.
Just spare me.
I've got supplies. I found a backpack here. It's full of Jameson. Shout out to Jameson.
I'm for sure picking you up.
Yeah.
Let's talk disaster preparedness.
Shiny.
Trade. Because that brings up an interesting point about disaster preparedness, okay? End of the world disaster preparedness, things that you need: alcohol, bullets, and cigarettes.
For sure.
Whether you have a gun, drink, or smoke, doesn't matter. You need to have alcohol, bullets, and cigarettes.
Okay.
Because that will be the money when there is no use for money because there are no stores and no government.
For sure. I get all of that. That's, people are going to be hard up in a hurry.
Right. And medicine. Yeah. Especially antibiotics.
Yeah.
Way especially antibiotics. If you're not already hoarding antibiotics, you're fucking up.
For sure. Okay. What's your ideal...
I tell the doctor that I'm sick every other month just so that I can get a bottle of antibiotics and put it in the cupboard.
No, that's on the internet.
I
don't. What's your ideal end of the world vehicle or housing?
I was going to say, like, what's my preferred disaster?
No. Well, we can go there too.
But vehicle? Bike.
Really?
If I'm alone.
I'd go RV. No?
It's hard to maneuver.
Well,
with your congested streets.
Yeah.
If I'm on a bicycle, you can't stop me. If it's zombies, a bicycle's a little...
You have built-in shelter. That's not valuable?
Not really. Because there's abandoned shelter everywhere.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Right? Even today, like, even without a disaster...
Yeah, that's...
Like, I can go 1 block in any direction and find a house that I can go into. They have signs out in front of them.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So what's your ideal scenario? What are you most prepared for?
Well, when Donald Trump got elected president, the only positive thing about that to me was the fact that like that might bring about the end of our reign as like the supreme country of the world.
Still in motion.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to sound like a terrorist on the internet, but I mean,
I want you to sound like a terrorist on the internet. Let's start with prescription drug fraud, terrorism next.
Yeah. Ideal would be, like, some kind of war on our soil. Because I think that I have...
Say that again?
Like a war,
the ideal scenario.
My ideal, end of the world disaster scenario would be like somebody blowing up the port and then they send in the insurgents or whatever, right? Because I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna be gone, and that's the easiest one to get the fuck out of here and be gone about, right? Okay. Because it's not an earthquake, it's not zombies, it's not like the whole town's on fire. You know what I mean? It's like there's bad guys now that we have to get away from.
Okay.
That's easy. I'm not trying to defend the motherland. You know what I mean? Like
trying to live.
I have no interest in killing zombies or insurgents.
Not
even
zombies.
I mean, zombies, I don't want to interact with.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, I'll kill some zombies. But real talk, I don't even want to see a zombie.
Yeah, makes sense. I feel like you don't watch nearly enough Netflix. Then maybe you should work on that.
I don't want to be around a zombie.
I don't know, man. There was this show where somebody fell in love with a zombie. They had a whole relationship. It looked really sweet.
I watched a stupid movie about that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think you could find
that
love?
That was stupid. Nobody's going to fall in love with a zombie.
Well, I mean, have you met a zombie? It could be very charming.
Their flesh is rotting off of their body.
Right. Your flesh is falling off of your body right now.
My flesh is certainly rotting off of my body, but...
Slower.
Way slower. Way slower.
And if you got a zombie, real talk...
Most you got people, a zombie pregnant?
I wasn't even going there. I mean, well... Ew. Okay. Be cold, but you still made it.
They made a movie about that.
Getting a zombie pregnant?
No, I think she was already pregnant, and then she had a zombie baby.
Oh.
Remember that in the Woman in the Mall?
That's drama.
The remake of
I don't remember that at all.
Dawn of the Dead.
Okay, what was her top 5 comedians?
There's that guy that looks like Bill Nye who's in it too. Anyway, fuck zombies and get them pregnant. That's so hot.
Yeah, I think we're due here, guys. We just talked about our end of the world scenarios a few times, but we do have to hydrate because we're dying in here. Beer is not cutting it.
Yeah, the beer is not a hydration.
So we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Just
leave a comment below during the ad and tell us what is your preferred scenario for the end of the world. Personally, like I said, my choice, I would choose, if I had to choose some horrible thing to happen, I would choose a war here because anything else is harder to escape.
Check it out. We want to hear the scenario and we want to hear your strategy to deal with it. If we have any good ones, we'll read them on the next episode or down the line or whatever. Be cool.
Please don't put any links to gun diagrams or weird books because
you can do whatever you want.
The FBI already likes to look at me about shit like that.
Do whatever you want.
That zombie thing that I did before.
Put it in there.
I had him come to my house.
Weird porn. Just all
don't.
All of the stuff, dude. And if you got any hookups for illegal antibiotic acquisition, this guy is in that business. Moving on. We'll be back in a few. Secular churches, goals without money, being fat and losing weight. Losing weight is how I put it. Oh, hey guys.
I'm gonna read some notes from my dream journal.
George is a son of a bitch. Note 1.
Here, this is in quotes. There's two. This is just a random note in my iCloud. And this line is in quotes. Okay. The problem is that only we know. Okay, that's in quotes. And then just below it, but in the same paragraph, in parentheses, the sword represents knowledge, maybe. And then, new paragraph, in quotes. Oh, this is, okay, I didn't need to say this is in quotes, but it's like formatted. Allah cut through my movement, said the spider as he lay bleeding out on the floor.
Okay.
So, what do you think? What do you think about that?
I think. Ready?
We all almost just had a strawberry milk incident.
Yeah. I think. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So keep that in mind
Right. So.
in your travels and journeys.
Yes. And then also, absolutely. All right. Anyways.
So, final segment of the show.
Yeah.
You heard Ben elucidating some of the notes.
What do you guys want to talk about? Pretend this is live. What do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, leave a comment below, and we'll do one of the topics that you guys choose in your YouTube comment.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, looks like Baloney Hog 3 says you guys should talk about thoughts on third-party management. That's like a subtopic. Often drugs and alcohol come after homelessness begins. That's another subtopic.
Yeah, they're clearly.
It's a little, some of the topics are crossed out because of how printed.
Well, I mean, ink. We can talk about how printer ink is ridiculously expensive still. How is that not
Let me tell
rectified?
You, I pay money every month for printer ink, but rarely print stuff. But like when I signed up for the program that I'm using for my ink, I was like, this is genius. I won't have to pay that much for ink because it's like when my ink cartridge runs out, they send me a new one.
Okay.
And for that, I pay them like $6 a month.
Okay.
$6 a month only. Right?
Yeah, that sounds low.
That's great.
But you don't print anything.
But I print like 3 documents a month.
Yeah, so it's like having car insurance and never getting in a wreck.
Right. It's like having this for 6 months, and then I paid $36 to print like 8 pages that I could have done at Kinko's for less than $2.
So I'm just going to start emailing you all of my documents for you to print.
Yeah, actually, I have ink.
Yeah, for sure, all day long.
I won't advertise what company I have subscribed to for $6 a month for ink.
So if you want to give the audience your email address, George will print everything.
I'll print whatever you want.
Yeah.
Actually, I used to
for the low fee of $6 a document.
That's right. I used to run a service doing making flyers, and I would make quarter-page flyers for people, and I would distribute to random places where you can put flyers around.
Name one.
Like a laundromat, some restaurants, they'll have like a whole counter that's like flyers and business cards. And I would, for $5 online, I would do 100 black and white quarter-page flyers. Quarter-page,
We got it. Yep.
That's bad audio. That's bad audio content. Because I didn't.
Yeah. So to describe it for our audio listeners, he showed you what a quarter of a page is.
Right.
Which is 1/4 of one page.
Right. And so that size of flyer, I would do 100 of those in black and white for $5.
Okay.
And
doesn't sound like a great deal.
It's a fine deal. If you think about it. What is that? 2.5 cents?
Was it on regular printer paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a terrible deal.
I would also distribute them in the state of California.
Oh, anywhere in California?
Yeah, anywhere I happen to be.
Oh. So if somebody was like, I need 100 flyers at this diner in LA.
No. It's, you think about online, people are trying to start up these online businesses and stuff, but they live in like Wyoming.
Gotcha.
Or something. Like, even if they went and made the same 100 flyers that I went and made and put around in, even just in Stockton, let alone if I happen to be in Sacramento or SF or whatever, you get a lot better response from people in California for actual purchasing. Like, you know, people in California are more likely to make a move online than anywhere else, almost in the world. So for $5 to have 100 flyers floating around California, people were jumping at it.
Wow, okay.
I was like one of the most successful flyer distributors.
Why'd you get out of that game? I picture you like going full Breaking Bad on it. Just like, I'm the flyer.
I'm the flyer king. No, I started doing some work that was making me way more money. And I accidentally didn't, like, I put it on vacation mode, but I activated vacation mode for like a week.
And then never went back to it.
Forgot about it. So it turned all my shit back on, and I got like dozens and dozens and dozens of orders, and I didn't log on to Fiverr for like over a month.
Oh, okay.
And so all these orders that had come in were like expiring late, blah, blah, blah. People had paid, and I just wasn't even responding to any messages on Fiverr at all.
So they just let you go pretty much?
Well, no, but every time that happened, it knocked my rating down to the point where I was at like I lost my, I was like, you know, verified, whatever, like high class.
Elite.
Like I was like on a real high rank as a seller on Fiverr. And then I let that happen, and it just knocked me down to just look like a garbage trash. You know, I had all these reviews that were like,
fair to say that
didn't deliver, blah, 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 didn't respond one time, you know, so that was on me. Like, I fucked it up. And when I stopped doing whatever thing I was doing and went back to my...
Shout out to Fiverr. We are looking for sponsors.
Fiverr won't sponsor you.
I know.
They're cheapskates.
Yeah, they don't like you either.
Yeah, they like me fine. I went back and after I stopped doing the work that I, you know, whatever that I was doing that took up all my time, I went back and got my rank slowly, started building my rank back up against all those negative reviews by doing positive work, and got it back up a little bit. But it was, I mean, I was never making more than a few $100s a month.
That's significant.
Off of that. It's significant. And that's the thing. Like if I'm hurting, I go activate my shit on Fiverr. You know, like if I'm like not getting freelance work or, you know, just getting low on funds, I'll go, fuck it. I'll run a few flyer things. Cause all it takes me to do is just like print their design, you know, and hand it out at places where I just drive past. Yeah. You know? And then I, you know, Fiverr now, I'm talking a lot about Fiverr. It's a cool freelancing thing.
Right.
They have a lot of upsells that you can add. You know, you can make like package deals and stuff. So, you know, you upsell somebody, costs $5 extra to have them be in color.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It costs X amount for, instead of 100, you get 500. And then, but then I had it where it was like for 75 extra bucks, I will hand them out in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Or for 50 extra bucks, I will hand them out in Sacramento.
So fill my tank and I'll go there to do that for you.
Right? Like if I get to go to San Francisco and hang out, and then at the end of the day, all the money I spent in San Francisco is just comes out to zero by me spending like 20 minutes, half an hour while I'm there dropping these flyers off at places.
Yeah, why not?
That's a win.
All right, moving on from Fiverr and all the business that they got going on.
If you're broke, check it out. If you can do something and you're broke, go check out Fiverr.
Yeah, if you have a vehicle and a printer.
Trying to improve people's lives. You don't even have to have a vehicle, man. Like if you can design a flyer, somebody will pay you $5 for that on Fiverr.
Sweet.
Like if you're broke and you don't want to be broke, go start a seller account on Fiverr and just do anything that you can do on your phone that puts out a high quality result, somebody will pay you $5 for that.
Do you need $5? I need $5. Is that why they call it Fiverr? Is everything $5?
The base price is $5.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
It used to be like all you could do was $5 gigs on there, but they've expanded because people want more. People get quality for $5 and they go, hey, this is a solid dude. I'd like to get some bigger work from him. I'd like to get some more shit done.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on from Fiverr. I do think that's a cool thing, though. I looked into Fiverr, but I was too stupid to...
Yeah, back to that gig economy, you know?
Yeah.
You don't get insurance, but you get some hot money like in your bank account in less than a week.
That's dope. Let's see. I'm looking at... How do you feel about online voting? Do you know anything about that?
Sounds like a bad idea.
Sounds like a bad idea? What do you think? Why do you think it's a bad idea?
I think it's a bad idea because... voter fraud.
Okay. That's that's the obvious go-to thing.
Yeah, that's why I froze up when you said it, because it can be, makes it 10 times easier to fuck with it.
I get that, but how is the paper ballot unfuckwithable? That's my thought. Is you're handing a paper ballot to an old lady in a mailbox with a key. That's the ultimate security. What? That's silly. We just assume that that's a hard counted copy. But anything that you turn over to anyone else is subject to be manipulated, right?
Yes and no, because at the end of the day, there's an original document that somebody can have in their hand and say, this is the one that I filled out.
Okay.
Right? This is the one.
But nobody's ever going to say at the result of an election, I want to see proof that my one vote was counted.
Yeah, they do. That's a recount. And they have to recount the actual physical documents.
Yeah, but you're not involved in that as the voter. You don't see that. You just hear about it.
Yeah, yes.
They tell you that they recounted.
Some old people to count them right.
I never want to do that. Old people? Come on.
There's some young people too.
Yeah, teenagers and old people.
Right.
Those are my two least favorite people. No offense to old people. I consider old people
Much offense to teenagers though.
Yeah.
Because fuck you guys.
Well, I have a few in my life and it's not going great.
Yeah.
But I don't see that being any safer or more valid. You don't believe in any sort of cybersecurity or anything? You don't think
there's no such thing.
There's no such thing?
That's a whole topic unto itself. But yeah, there's no such thing.
Okay. Well, that's terrifying.
That's the easiest answer. We could have talks for days about the styles and types of cybersecurity and how cybersecurity is saving us all from X, Y, and Z.
Uh-huh.
But it really, there's just no such thing. Because as soon as somebody has something to protect you, 10 people have a way to get around that.
For sure. I get that. But also, what are your top 5
Top 5 antivirus. AVG has a great free antivirus software. If you have Xfinity from Comcast, you can get free McAfee antivirus software.
This whole segment is a commercial for a bunch of other shit. Rottenbung.com.
Rottenbung.com has a terrific antivirus software that costs only $19.95. And if you use our special offer code,
and with the addition of $6, we'll print something for you.
We'll print you one document.
This is gross. Okay, well, I thought online voting was...
I keep looking down instead of up. This whole episode, I've been looking right in my own eyes.
Well, they're cute. Okay. I think voting online would be a good idea until you opened your mouth 35 seconds ago. Now, I guess I don't feel the same way, but I just feel like it's not easy enough for people.
My mom doesn't know how to use the internet.
Right. I don't want your mom to vote for president. Oops.
I mean, my mom didn't vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
There's a lot of people's moms I don't want to vote for president for sure, but they're gonna.
But
I guess maybe that would be a positive aspect of having voting be on the internet. Is a lot of olds who have stupid ideas about the world wouldn't vote.
Yeah.
If you had to vote on the internet. Like,
well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that an
an
age group has a specific.
No, but like, there's a lot of olds who have.
I'm just saying.
Specifically have shitty ideas about how the government should work.
I'm just saying, how many people don't vote because they got to go wait in line on a Tuesday at a school during the work hours or their kids' basketball game or whatever.
The stupid ones.
Right.
Because you should have voted absentee. So I'm glad they didn't vote.
Okay, so now we're talking mail? That's secure? Do you feel that's secure?
It's more secure than the internet.
I have a few people that will disagree with that. Some frauders that I've met in my life that have made a living off of that sort of thing. Not that sort of thing specifically, but...
Changing votes?
Yeah, not changing votes, but you know.
Where's the value? I mean, there's a value to Donald Trump to make himself president again, but like, at that point, it seems like there's better ways to do it, like paying the Russians to make a whole bunch of mass
talking specifically about voting. I'm talking they, get people's financials and stuff through mail. Right. But I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like you can call that any more reliable than anything else, because as soon as your vote leaves your hand, you assume it's counted correctly. You assume.
You assume. That's the thing, is you assume.
We all assume everything.
It's easier to assume when you made a physical mark.
I guess, yeah.
It's easier to assume.
Yeah, I get that. And I'm just saying, is that any better?
Here, let me amend my earlier comment that blew your mind about how the internet works. I'm going to blow your mind about how the world works.
Hit me.
There is no such thing as security.
Okay. Well, yeah, I get that.
Because, like, this is a very thin piece of metal that protects the front of your house from intruders.
This is not my house. This is a podcast studio.
That protects our backs from intruders, right? But if somebody drives by here with
that we pay a lot of money to record here.
But if somebody drives by here with a gun and shoots this direction,
right,
those bullets will go through us, the door, the computer, and probably the next one.
I understand that, and the criminals understand that, and that's my point. Is why does any
of us feel safe?
Why is any version
nothing that you can do?
Oh my gosh!
Go ahead.
We've had too many beers. It's too hot. Let's move on.
I'm actually finally not sweating. Are you sweating?
I'm always sweating. Can you guys?
Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
that was a beautiful.
It's a plethora.
Crescendo of glistens.
Yeah.
But I think opening the door and closing it made
it helped for sure.
A big difference
in our podcast studio door.
Let's get off of politics because
it's gross.
It's gross. But yeah, there's no such thing as security. You know, it's everything about your security is actually just security theater.
Yeah, I understand.
All of it.
Yeah, our door is this thick, you know what I mean? Our locks, you buy at Lowe's, you can hit them out with a chisel or whatever. It's not a big deal.
I can hit it out with my foot next to your doorknob.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is terrifying in this moment.
And that's obviously the same thing goes for mail. You're trusting your vote to some adhesive.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and a dude in shorts.
Right, and a dude in shorts and a pith helmet. Like a pith helmet.
Yeah, he had options with that helmet and he went.
Yeah.
The ball cap would be fine,
right?
Because there's no security.
There's nothing to feel secure about. So go with what you feel most secure about. And to me, ethereal clicks, choosing who the president is 1,000 times less secure than that adhesive protecting my pen strokes.
Yeah, I guess that's my own ignorance. I thought that maybe somewhere on the planet at that level, there were people that were smart enough to make that a secure process. You know, some countries are doing it. The research that I read was basically the main reason that America hasn't gone in that direction is because our global influence politically actually matters. And these countries that are doing it online elsewhere, they're just like, well, I mean, they're doing it, but like, fuck Uganda or whatever. You know?
Right. Like, it's not. Nobody besides whatever country is next door to Uganda is interested in fucking with Uganda's who's going to be Uganda's next president. Because as far as any of us big countries is concerned, it basically doesn't matter who the president of Uganda is unless he's killing all the gay people.
I mean, I haven't checked in. I don't know what's going on.
Wasn't it Uganda?
No. Uganda is on the list, yeah. I don't know.
Was it South Africa?
I got Estonia, Chile, and Uganda on here.
Recently, the president of an African country, fairly recently, not like, you know, but that was like a news Morse code sound that I did. Right? That's like,
I get it now that you're explaining it, but in real time, it was like Mickey Mouse taking footsteps.
Right, I feel you. Was killing gays and drug dealers. Like,
well, he split the difference.
He was picking up all the gays and drug dealers, putting them in lines, and cutting their heads off.
Oh. That's alarming.
Yeah. And so that matters.
Right.
That guy's doing that.
Was that
because that's a social issue.
First term?
I think that was, I think he got potentially elected on a platform of, I'm going to kill all the gays and homos.
Oh, that's rough. So
and drug dealers.
He's kind of pulling the Alabama voting system. It's like, well, it's screwed up. And they're like, well, we don't think so. So this is what we're doing.
And so that's a big deal. And I think, there's humanitarian efforts to get that guy out of office if he's not already. But even then,
every time we talk politics,
we didn't vote. They voted him in.
So stupid.
They voted him in.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
On that platform, according to you.
Potentially on that platform.
Potentially, maybe.
And maybe it was voting fraud from the people next door.
I guess.
Maybe. But, it definitely wasn't voter fraud from Korea.
Well, yeah. Okay. No,
right?
Yeah,
That's where I'm bringing this back around. It definitely wasn't voter fraud from Russia, even.
China,
Russia doesn't care that much about Uganda. They got diamonds or something. Mm-hmm. Even then,
yeah, we got diamonds too. It's fine.
Yeah,
we can buy them because we're way richer than you.
Right. And so to that end, all kinds of people want to fuck with our election because it's going to sway shit in or away from their favor.
Yeah. Well,
what they want to accomplish, right? Making America look like fucking idiots because we elected Donald Trump. They didn't even make voter fraud that time. They probably did a little bit, but not significant enough.
There's a lot of people that would disagree with you, but
I don't think it was.
Well, why do you think that?
I don't think it was fake votes. I think it was Facebook.
Well, Facebook was Obama's jam. That was Obama's jam. But I mean, I'm sure.
I'm just saying
Trump capitalized on. I think Trump just won on pure.
I don't think.
Just
necessarily
pure small hand energy.
And Trump even had anything to do with each other, except for the Russians were like, we got to make this idiot win.
Just to see if they could, maybe?
To make us worse.
Just jam us up,
yeah. Yeah, to make us worse. I made a Facebook page.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I made a parody Facebook page that was...
Did you vote?
I voted.
Okay.
I vote. Discordians for Trump.
Oh.
America will burn. Right?
Okay.
America will burn. And, the chaos will be here.
That's some heavy stuff right there, man.
If only we can get Donald Trump elected president.
How many followers did you have on there? Friends?
A handful. I had maybe 60.
Okay.
Something like that. Not a ton. I didn't post enough for it to grow.
So it was you then.
Yeah, it was my fault. But no, I mean, I believe that Donald Trump being elected president, was more likely the actual reason or thing that Chuck Norris was worried about. Do you remember when Chuck Norris, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Get on over here, Chuck Norris.
Third or fourth beer, probably.
That'll probably do it. But remember, he was like, if you elect Obama, re-elect Barack Obama, we will step into 2,000 years of darkness.
Chuck Norris said that?
Yeah, bro. Chuck Norris was like, re-electing Obama is signing a pact with the devil to take over our country and send us into 2,000 years of darkness.
Yeah.
Chuck
I used
Norris.
to watch Rocker, Texas Ranger, and
I fuck with Chuck Norris until he said that shit.
Yeah, that's fucked up. 2,000 years? That's very specific, too.
It might have been 10,000. Honestly, like, it was absurd.
Chuck Norris doesn't fuck around, though. I mean, he, if he does not like something, it's gonna...
That's right. And I believe that that's Donald Trump. More likely, that's Donald Trump. Like, having elected Donald Trump is the beginning of the downfall of our country. It completely eliminates any idea about the, usefulness and power of the seat of the president. Like, he's got some power and he's doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah, he's throwing his weight around for sure.
Nobody respects him.
Yeah.
Nobody cares that he's the president. We all just hate him and want him to not be the president anymore. Half of the Republicans, there was Republicans that were like, when it was like, oh, you won, bro, you got it. And there was a bunch of Republicans that were like, I'll see you guys. Bye. Right? Because they were not interested in that. Like, they see that he's a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean...
Right? And it just degrades the presidency.
People choose not to acknowledge the fact that, Donald Trump has been a fuck-up the whole time.
He's been a fuck-up the whole time, and it doesn't really matter.
Nobody cares.
A, doesn't matter. B, if Hillary Clinton had won instead...
It'd also be bad.
It would be the same bad and mostly in the same ways, but she wouldn't have looked like so much of a fuck-up while she was doing it. That's the only difference.
Yeah, he's not trying to veil it at all.
He's just an idiot who was like, oh, I want to be president, I'm famous and rich already.
That's
right?
Best Donald Trump impression I've ever seen in my town. Can you hit it one more time?
And he is. And he was so rich that he could. And the internet was, for the first time for a presidential election, an all-encompassing communication device.
Yeah.
For the first time for a presidential election. And yes, I understand that when Barack Obama was elected president, we had the internet. But it was not all-encompassing. Everyone didn't have Facebook in 2006. We had it.
Yeah.
But everyone didn't. You didn't even have it. You get what I'm saying?
No, I feel you.
Right? 2004, 2008?
So
people weren't on the internet like that.
In the George brain,
beginning. Nerds were on the internet.
Right. In the George brain, who's next?
Presidentially?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, he can't be next.
Sylvester Stallone.
Ooh, Sly as president. That's interesting.
You see the trailer for Last Blood?
I haven't. Is it good?
It's disgusting.
Is it bloody? Because it's in the title.
It
was a disgustingly bad.
It's bad.
It's terrible.
I
feel like he's been having a stroke for 30 years.
I think it's called a palsy. That's what you call that.
Oh, okay.
He's got a palsy. But I think his mouth was always shaped like that, too.
Yeah, but I mean, he stopped saying smart things.
Anyway, I saw a trailer for it yesterday when I went and saw the Pikachu movie.
Oh.
And no, I saw it the day before when I went and saw the Godzilla movie.
You see a lot of movies. You went to the theater twice this week?
Yeah. I have a great club subscription where I only pay $10 a month to be able to watch 3 movies a month.
You have a subscription to everything for everything.
It saves me money.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, I guess
right?
it doesn't save you money on printing, but
Well, it would if I printed more.
well, yeah. You can save
Send your
money on everything.
documents to strangelydangerous@gmail.com for printing.
Don't do that. Send them to Leftio at whatever the fuck service you use.
Yeah, send them to that for sure.
I don't want your documents. I want your questions. I want your comments, your concerns, your topics, your guest suggestions, and maybe your mama's phone number, but I don't want any of your documents.
I'm really sorry this was a lefty-centered episode.
No,
I feel
dude, it was
I
good.
was mouthing.
We all got to go inside your brain and see what happens when you pour a little Bud Light on it.
Yeah.
Happy to be part of it.
Little bruising shoes.
Yeah. I feel it though. You got a little angst built up. You got some things to do after this, which might be weighing on you, but I shouldn't have brought that up. I don't know, man. What are you feeling?
Dub. 3 men in a tub.
Yeah, I feel like I need a shower after this episode for real. It's no joke. We've been sitting here sweating like pigs in a pig store. No, fucking pig house of pigs.
Sweat lodge for pigs.
Pig sauna?
Pig sauna.
There we go. We found it. Together.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. That's collaboration in its finest. You guys got to see it here first. That was basically how this podcast was built. We just started talking about pigs. Anyways, I think we're going to call it, man. I feel like we've covered some very important topics today. We talked about our bug out strategies, your bug out strategies. We talked about Donald Trump plenty. Talked about voting online and why that's a terrible idea. And also, it's a terrible idea to vote not online. Or maybe we should just not vote.
Do you have any final comments about voting online? Because you asked me and I went dummy about how there's no safe way to do anything. So
no, I thought it was going to be
a physical one because digital things don't. Not only are they not secure, they don't actually exist.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? I mean, nothing actually exists, but once again, that's another day.
No, I got nothing. My argument would say, I mean, we do our banking, we do our everything else online.
Yeah, that's not secure.
Yeah, sure enough. Whatever. That's it, guys.
Don't use PayPal. My PayPal got hacked.
Yeah, well, we might need PayPal at some point. So.
PayPal is not going to be a sponsor of me.
Okay.
Sorry,
PayPal.
Trust them.
Maybe Fiverr, though, hopefully.
Fiverr, though. Yeah. And they actually do payout through PayPal. So if you use PayPal, it's really easy to get paid through Fiverr.
Oh, perfect. We fuck with Fiverr, but not PayPal unless it's with Fiverr. Then we don't. Or we do. I don't know, man. We've had enough. It's too hot. I think we're starting to lose our shit. You guys, thanks for joining us. This is the Dangerously Strange podcast. You can find us under the Dangerously Strange moniker on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And Twitter, our handle is @DangerStrange. Thank you for tuning in for episode 3. We'll be back very shortly with another episode with all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. That's it, right?
That's it, except right now I'm going to read the end credits that will be used for the rest of the series.
Boom. Hit them up.
Here we go. End credits. Gotta pull up my Things app. Damn, I'm an advertisement factory there. Credits. Dangerously Strange is a production of London Clock Entertainment and Odenbeard Creative. Our theme music was created by Rick Russell. And we'll add more credits as more people get involved with our projects.
All right, guys. You heard it here. Check all that stuff out. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.